art and nature collaborate to make one unique off-road adventure. And today on At Your Leisure, we're showing you where. I'm Ria Booth.
And I'm Chad Booth. Set your sights on the Great Salt Lake, where sculpture has become part of the landscape. After that, Zack takes us through a green world on an ATV and shows off trails you never knew existed.
From there, we're hitting the water at one reservoir that has a personal connection for a lot of us. What has boating meant for one Utah family? We'll tell you their story.
On the outdoors with At Your Leisure. So here's a question. What would be considered more beautiful? Something natural or something man-made? If you think about it, that's an interesting question. I mean, obviously, natural beauty is exactly that. It's in its raw form. It's a view of a rock, a canyon. Nature does a great job of creating eye candy for us, but that doesn't mean that human creations can't inspire us and make us appreciate the world around us. Art in all its forms has a way of making us look at ourselves and our relevance in the universe. Well, today we're going where art and natural beauty collide, literally in a desolation of a desert full of water.
Wow, Chad, it kind of reminds me of Key West without the rippling waves.
I was going to say there's no surf, but there's also not a bunch of green. I'm thinking more of the Dead Sea there, honey.
Oh, you're right.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Ria Booth.
We are in Box Elder County. We're on our way to a place called the Spiral Jetty. It's a very unusual place, but it's one that is kind of fun to go to. And it's actually a piece of artwork that sits out in the lake. I'm not exactly sure what the guy had in mind when he built it, but it was his vision.
Right, it's really unique. It's just beautiful out here anyway. The lava rock, the mountains, it's really cool out here.
True, there's some great geography. Our vision today is to take and share that with you. So let's find out a little bit about our friends and the jetty.
Oh, the Spiral Jetty is really a great little art piece. Been around since 1970. Not a lot of people locally even know that it's here, but really kind of a fun ride to come out and explore a little bit of Utah. And it's a huge sculpture, it really is. I guess it took 6 days to make with heavy equipment down here, so pretty impressive that it got accomplished. I never would have even thought about doing something like that.
I was surprised that it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be, but when you get closer to it, it is bigger.
It's so much smaller up close. Look how small it is, Chad.
It would have taken a lot of work to get that as big as it is, and I liked it.
It's pretty easy riding, improved dirt roads most of the time, so you can really come out here and pretty much whatever you want to. The ride's more about the scenery, lots of beautiful scenery. I mean, when you come around that corner and you see the north arm of the Great Salt Lake, it really it impresses on you every time you see it how beautiful it is, that kind of light red, pinkish colored water. It's really kind of neat.
I wasn't thinking it was going to be as pretty as it is. When we first saw the lake around the corner, that was my favorite part. It was really beautiful. And the color of the lake, I wasn't expecting it to be that color. I think out here there's a lot of desert, but there's also the mountains and the lake. There was so much to see.
And it's just something that's different. You know, not everybody has seen something like this. And so it's just, you know, a fun adventure that you could do in a day.
Starting to feel like I'm walking around in circles.
We're in a jetty, Chad.
A spiral one.
Yeah, isn't it cool?
You know, I'm really glad we actually walked down from the parking lot down here, because you don't really get an idea of how big it actually is till you do this.
Right, and you know, it really is amazing because this whole landscape changes, obviously, from like the water level.
Well, that's true, yeah. I mean, if we had 2 or 3 more years like this one, you'd probably get that water that's probably a mile out there still, even though it looks like it's next door.
Right.
Up around the jetty.
Yeah, let's hope we get another 2 or 3 years. Wouldn't that be nice?
That's true, that would be great.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Well, we're gonna head off to our travel adventure.
On this show, we're always telling you to create your own adventure, but we don't really show you how. Well, today I'm going to out here on the Airpine Trail. You see, Sanpete County and other constituents have come together to create this. This is an ATV trail map that covers all 600 miles of of the Airpine Trail. Check this out, come here. As you can see, there's a lot of ground to cover, but not only does it show you which trails are where and what difficulty they are, but it also shows you campgrounds, places to fish. So we are going to use this map today as we head out on the old dusty trail.
Right here, we're up at the top of the west side of Mount Baldy on Trail 21. We're on the Airpine system. And the beauty of this, not only do we have a lot of scenery around us, we have a diverse group of people today, which means we have a wide variety of machines. On here you have 50-inch, you have 66-inch.
Ride today was wonderful because we started down in the low area, a few pinyon pines. It's just beautiful. You go through a lot of stream crossings, which makes it a lot of fun. Go through a lot of different terrain, from smooth trails to a little rockier and bumpier. It gives you a challenge. A lot of people just don't like riding on the smooth trails, so that's what's nice about up here is you have a lot of variety.
Not only is there a lot of variety in regards to the riding, but the trail map also directs us to a diverse offering of activities.
We have about 50 beaver ponds up on the Airpine Trail, and we stock about 25 of them each year with brook trout. And then you have, of course, here like Upper WPA, some of the bigger lakes get stocked with rainbow trout each year. It's a great place to bring kids because usually the catch rates are really high and the fishing's easy. You might not catch huge fish, but you catch a lot of fish usually. If you get bored at one place, you can easily move on to another. And like today, fishing's slow here at the Upper WPA, but you can easily, within 5-10 minutes, move on to a different lake or beaver pond and catch fish there.
What's rule number 1 of fishing?
Tight hold your mouth.
Did you say lie?
Yes.
Lie is the first rule of fishing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great riding? Check. Scenic fishing? Check. Using the map to chart our adventure, we continue on to a spectacular destination along the Airpine Trail, a state park that offers more recreation for your buck.
Palisades State Park is located about 2 miles above Sterling, Utah. We have approximately 100 campsites. We have 5 group areas. We have an 18-hole golf course, a 70 surface acre reservoir, which is really popular for fishing, hiking around it. On that reservoir, we do canoe rentals, paddle boat rentals, paddle board rentals, kayaks, and we also have cabins that people come and rent and utilize. So it's a lot of fun.
The Airpine Trail system is easily accessible from several towns within Sanpete County. Today, we trailered from Mayfield, Utah. But thanks to the interconnectivity of the system and the easy navigation with the map, you don't have to worry about missing out on any of the sites or losing your way as you ride on from your campsite.
The Airpine Trail is awesome because hardly any of it is a dead end. Most of the trails loop. You give you access to go and cross over a canyon, go down or up another trail, not see the same trail twice. We've widened most of the trails to allow for the big UTVs up to 66 inches to cover 90% of the mountain. It's a great opportunity for the family to get out and ride in the big machines and enjoy the mountain together.
Not bad detours for an ATV trail. But like the looping Airpine system, let's bring this story full circle, back to the trail. Because in the end, that's the reason why we get into these machines.
Some people like the winding trails through a variety of aspen and things like that, and other flora and fauna. Other people like a little bit of a challenge with rockier areas. And so you can really experience both. There's places to challenge yourself, but not too much. Come up here and enjoy. It's a great trail system. And you can also camp nearby Palisade State Park as well and take off right out of there. And the system has a lot of great connections and things like that, and there's much to explore.
So if you want to create your own adventure out here on the Airpine Trail system, go to utahatvtrails.org, pick up one of these maps. It's a fantastic resource. Well, I'm Zack Cipriano. More at your leisure after the break.
$2,000 fence posts, 900 acres, 48 bales, all before lunch, which we caught last Saturday. We earn our scars. We wear our work ethic. We work until the work's done.
The Can-Am sales event is on now. Visit your local dealer for details.
Kawasaki mule side-by-sides are some of the toughest machines around. Work hard or play hard. With the new Mule Pro MX, you don't have to choose. It's about having the right machine to fit the way you live. And it's about strength. The all-new Mule Pro MX, the strongest, because I said so.
Hello everybody, welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Rick Peterson and I get to do a very special product review today. Can-Am's brand new, very first ever 50-inch machine, and this unit just came off the truck a couple of days ago. Excited to go out and take this thing for a ride. Let's go see what it'll do.
This is the first 50-inch Maverick Trail that BRP has ever made. Sometimes when you think about first-year models, you tend to be a little bit leery about those. But after riding this several times in the mountains, I can tell you this thing is fun. You'll just find that the ride and the horsepower is coupled well and the balance is incredibly well.
We hit the rocks coming up really hard, and I couldn't believe that it didn't shake the fillings out of my teeth. Very smooth ride, and yet lots and lots of power. The suspension on this is extraordinary. With the gas charged shocks, the A-arm front suspension, you got 10 inches of ground clearance, but then you've got another 10 inches of travel in the suspension. This thing rides like a Cadillac going over rocky terrain. Now inside is where it really gets exciting. I've been riding my whole life and I've rode in a lot of machines, and what really stuck out to me about this machine is that when you're sitting inside, you feel like you're in a much bigger machine. Very comfortable seats that wrap around you, a padded steering wheel, tilt steering. The other thing you'll notice as you sit in the cockpit is a couple of really important buttons on the dashboard. One is 2- and 4-wheel drive selection. The other one is you can choose either a sport or an economy mode. The way this thing shifts as you're coming up the hill is amazing. As you access the power and the torque, as soon as you move your foot, there's no delay. But the other button on the dash that's super important is you can lock in your rear differential. And coming up the rocky ridge on my ride, I noticed that I wasn't getting the traction I needed, reached up and hit that rear differential lock, and off I went. And now that amazing suspension also carries back to the back end of the machine with, again, the TTAT rear suspension, sway bars, gas charged shocks, great suspension all the way around this thing. And that equates into a capacity to haul. 300-pound cargo capacity here. You got a 2-inch receiver hitch down here. This thing only weighs a little over 1,300 pounds, towing capacity of 1,500 pounds. Like I said, this is brand new, fresh off the truck. You gotta go to Weller's Recreation in Camas and get one. Available in 3 different colors, lots of accessories, but nobody's gonna take care of you like they do at Weller's. That's our product review today. I'm Rick Peterson with At Your Leisure. We'll be back after this commercial with more adventure.
There's a little place on a Utah map where I was raised, where my heart's at, where the sagebrush grows wild and high, and the stars come out at night. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the basin with a Ute reservation, skiing starvation, that Duchesne County life.
Meet the new leader in off-road utility, the completely reinvented Ranger XP 1000. It's got the most power, the largest towing capacity, the highest ground clearance, and the best comfort and storage. Introducing the all-new Polaris Ranger XP 1000, the hardest working, smoothest riding Ranger ever built.
Too often we find ourselves in shoes like these, or these. Wouldn't it be nice to change into something more like this, or this? How about these? Put on whatever shoes you prefer and come to Beaver County. We have exactly the adventure you need to put under them. So the next time you want to change out of these, come to Beaver County where you can jump into a pair of these. Beaver County, Utah. Lace up for adventure.
Dominate every trail.
Conquer any task. You need a machine that does it all. Introducing Polaris General. The General is the most powerful wreck utility side-by-side ever made. The industry's deepest cargo box lets you haul and dump up to 600 pounds, and the revolutionary cockpit totally refines comfort and protection. Polaris General, ultimate versatility to win every battle.
Are those ants out there on the jetty?
No, Chad, those are people.
Oh, good, because I've never heard of a yellow ant before.
They are kind of far out there, though.
They are. Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We are on the Promontory mountain range. That tip right there is called Promontory Point, which most of you have heard in a history book if you're from Utah. Now, in between where we are and those points are, there are ghost towns, there are mountain passes, there's a railroad grade, there are the water pumps, there are all these things that you can do when you're exploring by ATV in Box Elder County. We were lucky to have two of the most knowledgeable ATV guides in the county, Ted and Lyle, and they're going to tell us what we could see in the day's adventure.
We just barely came out here to the Spiral Jetty, and beyond here, in fact just west of here, there's the Hog Ups. You can actually stage over here at Kelton, which is a ghost town, and you can go down along the Hog Ups and come across just the very north end of the Salt Lake right here and get to Bangerter's Pumps. That's about a 105-mile ride. And then further from there, there's you can get on the old railroad grade. And there are a bunch of historic ghost towns that go across there that are quite interesting.
Well, you have this ride right here. It's real short, an hour or two. You can go out, unload at Kelton, Locomotive Springs, Wildcat Mountain, out of Snowville, up where the gold mine used to be.
You can end up in Devil's Playground, and there's a pretty ride up there on top of that. And just past that, there's City of Rocks. So it's easy riding out here, flat, and if you're looking for an easy ride, this is where to come.
It's a hidden gem once you get out here. And it's a different type of scenery that you usually never see. It's the different end of the Great Salt Lake. And with the lava rock that are here and the volcanic type, and then you go and get up on top of the mountain and you've got pine trees. It's free, it's fun, it's a new adventure that you've probably never had before, and it's usually pretty quiet, and so you're not going to have a lot of traffic when you're out here. And then when you get out in the mountains and you realize there's a lot of land and territory out here that I don't think many people realize how big it really is.
If you're looking for a certain type of ride, this is where to come.
Well, obviously, you could park yourself in Corinne or Brigham City, and you could spend more than a day out here, because we've just scratched the surface with all these riding opportunities that you've seen. And people who fly over the lake wonder why all of a sudden there's this straight line across the lake, and it looks kind of normal lake-like on the south end. It's kind of bluish green. And then over the line, it's like pink water. It's because that part of the lake is totally isolated and the water can't mix. So it's a lot saltier up here, in excess of 30% salt. It's almost at a complete saturation level. It's soupy even in the summer.
But you know, we do have to go to our trailhead, which is brought to you every week by Rocky Mountain ATV MC.
There's a simple recipe of creating family tradition. You just bring together a close group of people, put them in an environment where lifelong memories can be made, and then watch the magic unfold. After repeating the process for a few years, you pretty much got it. A new family tradition. For Tracy Weeks, the culture of water recreation started before he was even born, and it turned into a generational enterprise.
Dick's Boat Shop was founded by my father in 1959. We've had a continuous business since then, and he always had a passion for boats, and so he decided to try to open up a small boat shop. Originally it was right out of our garage, and our backyard was the storage area. When I was a kid growing up, instead of a swing set or a playground, we had boats all over the place. Probably when I was about 15, I was working there as much as I could, but as soon as I got out of high school, I went straight full time. And I've been there ever since. And then he retired from the air base and became full-time, because for a long time there he was doing both jobs. He was working at the base, taking care of his family, and running the boat shop.
Now, decades later, Tracy has continued that boating tradition, not only with his own family, but helping others to do the same. Today, he's on the waters of Pineview Reservoir. He's test driving a new boat for a customer wanting to take their family out for the 4th of July. Even this simple experience reminds him of why he loves it so much.
A day like today, it's so pretty up here, and the water's beautiful, and it's full, and it's close to home. So I made it up here in a half hour.
As a boat shop owner, it's easier for Tracy to get out on the water, of course, but he still had to work at keeping the traditions his father established alive and well. Countless days on lakes across Utah built him into the man he's become. It was never an option for Tracy to let his kids miss out on those potential memories and character-developing experiences.
Having my kids grow up around the boats like I did, it's been really great to watch them to get out into the boating world and to learn how to do the different things. Boating to me is a lifestyle that I don't think you can beat. It's probably one of the last few things that you can get together as a family. Your kids will go with you. They'll want to go. They'll bring neighborhood kids along. So you get to spend a lot of quality time with your family and friends. The first time we went to Lake Powell, it hadn't even filled up yet. It was on its way to filling. Now it was in the 60s, so I'm going to date myself a little bit. The fact that I even remember those things from when I was 7 years old is pretty amazing. So I think that says something about the boating lifestyle, is the fact that I even have those memories still in my head.
And it's those memories of summer days, now a half-century gone, that Tracy hopes will reflect in his children's lives and beyond. It's pretty simple when you think about it. A floating vessel, maybe 20 feet long, an engine, but put your family inside of it, and suddenly you realize just how powerful simple can be.
We can get them to turn their phones off. We can have conversations that we just don't get to have anywhere else. I know so many families that don't do boating, and you can see that, they just don't have that time with their kids like if you have boating in your life, you will. But it's just great to see them and have the grandkids now coming on board and, seeing what they're going to be able to do here in the future. It's just been awesome.
So it all started in a garage with his dad and a few boats. Now, generations have passed, and the tradition continues. All you need is the people you love, a bit of water, and some quality time. And then you've got it. From the shoreline, I'm Terry Wood.
How much do you think it would cost to spend a few days at a golf resort with your accommodations on the fairway and a lake to your back? $200 or $300 a night? How about $25 or $30? Ray City RV can make that dream come true because Utah has several state parks with golf courses attached. Ray City RV has the RV that's right for you. Find out how you can enjoy the passion of your dreams in the outdoors with a new RV from Ray City RV, Utah's low price leader since 1946.
In a place that is beyond words, there is nothing to be said, except take your time in Bryce Canyon country.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. We've left the Spiral Jetty, and now we're just cruising around out here in North Salt Lake.
Yeah, we've seen some surprising things out here. There's some pieces of art that look better from 30,000 feet than from 10 feet. And in all honesty, I got to say, The Spiral Jetty's one of them. But right now, we need to take a look at some events that are on the horizon.
Exactly. First off, we have the 4th of July this week, and there are a couple events you're going to want to mark down. In Tooele, you have the Bit and Spur Rodeo over the holiday, both the 3rd and the 4th. This is a great event, and it's a fun way to celebrate Independence Day. Now, if cutting horses and bucking broncos isn't your style, Duchesne County has their annual Red Mud Run, also on the 4th of July. You can register to run at rooseveltcity.com. This is a unique marathon where you and your kids can crawl through the mud and just have a great time. And last but not least, we want to tell you about the Cow Country Rodeo, July 13th and 14th in Manila, Utah. This is the big Daggett County event, and for you cowboys out there, this will be bigger than it's ever been before. You can find out more at flaminggorgecountry.com.
Well, that ought to fill out one page of your to-do list, so let's go on from here to our weekly contest winner. Somebody's going to get lucky today.
We caught this black Chevy Suburban sporting their AYL sticker proudly. You can see it right here. License plate X111KP.
Congratulations, you just won a $400 certificate to RiFab, which is just this great place to go if you want to get all the bells and whistles for your rig.
Ria, I want to get RiFab.
You can't.
Oh, maybe later?
I think we should cut that.
Right now, let's take a look at next week's show.
How can you learn to rope and ride like a rodeo star? Next week, we're finding out as we go through training with the experts and discover how to turn 8 seconds into victory in the arena. Then Reese Stein will take us to Georgia, where he'll show the Okefenokee Swamp like you've never seen it. Last but not least, we'll head back out west, where Zack Cipriano picks one small town and discovers possibilities you never expected. At your leisure, next week.
Woo-hoo! I've only done this one other time.
And you didn't crash that time either.
Oh my gosh. We had one heck of a happy day today.
It has been an extremely fun day, a little dust on the glasses. Okay, let's take a minute to tell you how to get out here. Make your way to Brigham City, you look for Highway 13. You go west on Highway 13 to the town of Corinne. And after you get through Corinne, you start following signs to the Golden Spike National Historic Site, worth a visit in and of itself. Go about 3 miles past you. I mean, you literally go past the driveway of the historic site and you keep going. And about 3 miles down the road, you'll see this kind of clearing with a bunch of cows around. That's where you stop, unload your ATVs. And from there, you can go over hill, over dale, you can hit the dusty trail.
And we did all that today.
And we did all that today. And that does lead us to the fact that there were several bends that we went around.
Yeah.
And that's where you find your next adventure. It is just around the bend.
But you can't see it unless you get out there and create your own adventure.
At your leisure.
Buy all kinds of bells and whistles for your unit.